Ecstatic fans set off a party for the ages after the Springboks tied New Zealand's record of 3 Rugby World Cup victories. There is no doubt the celebrations in the Rainbow Nation will continue until the Boks return home as Siya Kolisi and his men united the country. Right now, for more on this, let's now go to CGTN correspondent CS du Plessis, who joins us live from Johannesburg. CS, a momentous day for rugby in South Africa. What has been the reaction to the win over there?
I think South Africa is one of those countries on the African continent desperate for positive news. And I can tell you that the Springboks have lifted the spirits from Cape Town all the way to Polokwane, to the East Coast and Durban, all over the Rainbow Nation. It's been a historic occasion with the Springboks really showing that when their backs are to the wall, when they're under pressure, they really can come to the fore and put the pressure on their opposition. So across the country, there's going to be lots of celebrations that will continue into the wee hours, that's for sure. But it's been well received. It's been a really, how can I say, it was celebrated from almost kickoff that the Springboks were going to win this one. So all over where there were fan parks in South Africa, it's been well received. The celebrations have continued, and South Africa is a really special place tonight, that's for sure. The spirits are lifted, everyone is positive, and it just shows what the sport of rugby has done for a nation where there's not a lot to celebrate about in South African sport currently, with the cricket side not making it out of the group stage at the World Cup. And Bafana, well, they reached the quarterfinals, but in terms of reaching World Cup finals, it's only the Springboks that have managed that.
Right, and of course there were plenty of questions raised about Rassie Erasmus's side, both going into the tournament and especially going into that final. Just talk us through how dominant the Springboks were against England on the day.
Yeah, the Springboks play a sort of a low-risk game. They're very defensive-minded, where they tend to put pressure on the opposition and force mistakes, force ill-discipline, and that's exactly what South Africa did today. England were on cloud 9 after demolishing the All Blacks, who arguably are the best team in the world. Not tonight, it's the Springboks, of course, but England were going into this one confident. They were slick, well-prepared. Everyone thought England would certainly beat the Springboks. That was very different today in Yokohama. The Springboks pack was absolutely outstanding. They applied so much pressure that England actually wilted under that pressure. They dominated them, bullied them, and at the end of the day, they kicked their penalties, took their opportunities, and the tries from Mpimpi and Cheslin Kolbe were just outstanding. They were the icing on the cake. But at the end of the day, it was a dominant display from the Springboks, who dominated possession, forced England into places they didn't want to be. And as you can see, the scoreline tells the story. It was the Springboks with a deserved victory.
And what a tournament it has been. But we will be, of course, saying farewell to a number of big names in the sport. Just talk us through that and who we should be looking forward to in the future.
I think the most notable, can I say, absentee from the next World Cup, because essentially that's what you do as a national team, is you plan for 4-year cycles for World Cup, so you peak at the right time. And I think the most notable will be the beast in Taurira. He has been an absolute legend in the front row. Today he was immense. England had no answers for the man known as the beast, and when his name is chanted all over the stadium, even in Yokohama, it's just incredible to hear that and witness that. But I think he will be passing on after 117 test caps. Probably will continue to play a bit of club rugby, maybe even overseas, but he's a loyal Sharks man. He'll probably end up staying in Durban, but I don't think we will see the beast at the next World Cup. Rassie Erasmus, of course, he will step down after this World Cup, so he will move back into his director of rugby position. So there will be a new Springbok coach in the next few months to look forward to. But I think in terms of the talent, and this core group of players will be around for the 2023 event. And you think of Mpimpi, you think of Kolbe, there's Damian Willems, who hasn't even got much game time. He is a real gamer, an exciting fullback, fly half who can come in. Warwick Galant comes into the mix. Pieter-Steph du Toit is just, he's the next beast in the pack, if I can put it that way. So a lot of young talent. There will be a few of the familiar faces, possibly a Dwayne Vermeulen, that hang up the boots after this. But I think the positive future for South Africa is there, and it certainly will be interesting to see if they can defend their title in 2023.
And CS, very quickly, we're almost out of time, but looking forward, the World Rugby Sevens tournament will be coming to South Africa in 2022. Just how significant is this for the Rainbow Nation?
Absolutely massive. Cape Town has become one of those events that everyone looks forward to on the global Sevens circuit. But just to give you an idea, San Francisco, when they hosted the Rugby Sevens World Cup, they made $90 million in revenue from that. So the injection alone into the economy will be a huge boost for Cape Town, and that event will take place in September of 2022. It will be wedged between the World Series and the Commonwealth Games, so there's plenty to look forward to. But it's a huge boost for South Africa's sport, and of course for a nation with a proud history of hosting global events.
All right, CS, we'll let you go and join in on the celebrations. Thank you very much for that. CGTN CS du Plessis joining us live there from Johannesburg.